I make concept out of chaos, and that's really what it is.
Yeah.
There's a thought process. We love the animals. We enjoy them. We want them to be like our children. That's the society we live in. And I'm in the society where I come from. I want the dog to be my best friend. Really, like something I can enjoy myself. That's how these dogs
Right.
were. My dogs, particularly, not these dogs. I'm assuming the breed. When I talk about
breed.
when I talk about the breed, I'm not even talking about nobody else's dogs, but my dogs. And the reason
Right.
is the reason why I consider my dogs to be the breed and not anybody else's dogs is because my dogs have gone through a specific process of development, a specific process to select and reject. Because I'm in the business of selection and the business of rejection. Most people, when they're in the business of fluffy feelings or having a dog, they're in the business of everything is great, equality, acceptance, which is a very feminine feeling in society. Anything goes, rescue a dog, all the noble things behind rescuing a dog. When it comes to a dog, I'm more like old school. I want the best, nothing but the best, and F the rest, because at the end of the day, from a pragmatic point of view, who doesn't want to have the best? And that's reality. Who doesn't want to have a great time with their dog? A superior time. And those superior times with dogs can only come from a brand. Like you and I are talking on the phone right now, and I always like to use this sample because someone is holding a phone when they call me. And what kind of phone do you have?
iPhone 15.
Okay, thank you very much. I'm on an iPhone 15 myself. I have iPhone 15 Pro Max because I'm going kind of blind, so I need to have bigger letters, bigger screen with a 1,000 gigabytes because I take a lot of pictures, a lot of videos, and so I pay for top of the line. So you and I trust the Apple brand over Samsung, which Samsung is a good brand as well. But let's say there was a table full of a whole bunch of brands, different brands from different countries that you never heard of, and some of the, maybe India, maybe these, whatever. And all of a sudden you want to get an iPhone that you trust. I am pretty sure that you will pick up the iPhone because you already know the brand. Am I correct?
Yeah.
Now, if you did not know the brand iPhone, you didn't have experience on that, and you're looking for a phone, that's the position when the brand new dog owner shopping for dog becomes. They don't know who to trust and why is this dog better than the other dog. And so until you know the brand is the technology behind it, the leadership with Steve Jobs, the whole story on the company and how they improve their products from one model to the next model, and they're always going better technology, better elements, using aluminum rather than cast iron, using titanium rather than aluminum. All those different things are important to me, and I'm pretty sure are important to you since you have an iPhone 15. And so when I want to have a dog, I want to have a dog that will be like my dog or better. If there was anything better, I'm always like, man, I wish I could meet a better man, but I just can't find it. It's 34 years, which there's people that got more time, because having the years without having the performance means just you getting and becoming an older man. So basically what I have done, I have created batches of great dogs by waves where you have a litter full of clusters of great dogs within the litter. And the one thing that I made different than everybody is that the dogs that I select for were always superior pets. In other words, even before they were like better than a pet. Like a regular pet comes in, he walks around, maybe he wiggles his tail and stuff. These dogs are like Chris Cyberbull says, he's grudado, like stuck to her. Dog go to sleep, has to have a paw on top of her. It has the extreme companionship. These dogs of mine inspire people with courage. They beaming like a beamer thing like that of courage, loyalty, never give up. You can trust me. I'm here for you. And so it does take a great dog made out of great genetics, a lot of acceptance, a lot of rejection, and only the best to get to that level. And so we got a dog here, which is old now. He's 10 years old. And his puppies, they will triple in price when he died, because I will still bring him once he's dead. His name is Atos from Busha. He's a global grand champion. He's a war hero from Ukraine. His temperament, going no, even after the war, he still goes to orphanage with children and gets along with all the children. He becomes like a child's hero. They love him. He's like a magnet of love, you know. And so you don't get that from an average dog. He's a super dog, and his puppies are just like that. There's families in Midland, Texas, families in Houston, in Sugar Land, in Humboldt, South Texas, all over Houston, all over Dallas, all over Texas, New York City, California in the north, by Oregon, Portland, Oregon, San Francisco Bay Area, Sacramento, Los Angeles, San Diego, down to Miami. So you got New York down to Miami, Miami across the nation, across all the West Coast. People are enjoying these dogs. And one thing that all of them say, unanimously, is the best dog experience I ever had. Number one. Number two, this dog is the smartest dog I ever saw in my life. I have a lady, she's from New York, and she's a interior designer. Hello, Laura, if you listen to this video. And so this lady had a rescue dog that sometimes we get so lucky, we get the best dog in the litter, and some of the people might get the dog that end up hurting or killing somebody, but the ones that get lucky got this dog that has all these trails and the sparkles of the great dog, of the real American Pitbull Terrier. And so she was happy with the dog. And the dog passed away and it hurt her a lot. She was very concerned that she couldn't get any dog on that level. And when she contacted me, I can see her doubts and all the concerns she has, but she did a lot of research, and she's like, you know, you're the only one I can trust, but I'm just concerned that, you know, I'll never get a dog like my old dog. And I said, this dog will be the best dog of your life. I'll wait for you to tell me that. Last week I got a message from her, and the message is, this is the smartest dog I ever had. She's incredible. She overcame all my expectations. She is better than I thought. That is her. When she said that, I said, then I said that you were going to say those words. She said, yeah. So I am happy. You know, I am happy with what we produce. I'm happy with the clients. We don't sell dogs to everybody. If I remember correct, you in a position that's a little bit delicate, so you're gonna take a lot of training on your part. They're easy to train, but if you need a specific dog with a specific training for, you know, maybe a handicap or whatever, you're gonna have to, yeah. Atos himself, he's a service dog. Atos himself is a service dog, and so great dogs. That's all I can tell you. Great dogs. They're still dogs. They're easy to train. They still dogs, you know. But they exceeded the expectation of all my clients. I have a friend of mine. He got one of the dogs from a brother of Atos called Mayweather, tremendous producer. He called me. I'm in an airport when I get the call from him, and the guy's in tears. And I delivered the puppy to him personally, somewhere I think it was Minnesota. And he's a very successful man, successful wife, successful man. And they got this puppy for their daughter, and oh my God, it was very emotional. The guy called me, he's crying. I said, what happened? He said, Chico, I'm crying. He said, why? I just want to tell you thank you. This dog overcame everything. I didn't expect to, never imagine that I had a dog like that. Then down to me, that as a child I needed to have a dog like this. It would have been so great for me as a child. And that was heavy. I still remember that was heavy. Like you wanting to have as a child this. And I told them the story of a man that he was 80 years old, 80-something years old, and his son got one of my dogs. And he called me. He was not my client. He's the father of my client. And so I just want to tell you something. I was looking at the dog we got from you, and I realized one thing, that there is two people on the planet that cannot afford not to have your dog. And I said, really? You know, coming from an older man, I pay attention because the wisdom and everything else. And he says, a 6-year-old boy that needs the emotional support, that needs the masculinity, encouragement to courage, loyalty, never give up, is needed. That boy cannot afford not to have it. So I applaud all the parents, they call me and get dogs from me for the children. And then he says, an 80-year-old man that can say he lived with one of your dogs. Because for me as an older man, this dog that I have, that my son has from you, became my best friend. I tell you, when I heard these men talking like this, I almost cry. Like even my even my eyes right now are kind of watery. Like I can teary. I cannot even believe, the profound feelings, the things that you get to experience with these dogs that we created, and it is such a powerful significance for our hard dedication, the sacrifices that my wife makes. My wife is my hero. My wife is my hero. She gets up in the middle of the night, take care of the puppies. She's smiling at me, just looking at me right now, and she knows everything I say. I mean it. And she's just tremendous with these dogs. And I was in Houston, delivering 2 puppies in Houston to a friend of mine that already got 3 of my dogs, 4 of my dogs. And he said, we made a video, and he went the extra mile to say thank you to Thais for doing all the great things she does on developing the puppies. It matters. We do things differently. You pay more than you'll pay for any mutt in Houston. That's for sure. I'm not giving them away. They're not to be given away. But you get what you pay for multiplied by 100. By the time you had the dog for a year, 2 years, you feel like I could have paid double if I knew the dog was going to be this good. That'll be the feeling you'll have. That's all I got to tell you. I got puppies. When you're ready, if you're going to have that puppy in your apartment, I would recommend you to get the puppy, take it in your apartment. As soon as the puppy is like, 8 weeks, the sooner you get it, the younger you get it, the better so you can mold it. You need to study 123pitbulls.com so you can learn not to make the 1 gazillion mistakes dog owners make with dogs.
Okay, because I know pit bulls are very loyal to their owners. And they're great with kids.
Well, I will tell you mine are. And there are some of them out there that are also, but what they don't have is the consistency. These are consistently great on everything. Yep.
They're good dogs, though.
Yeah.
I like them. I love pit bulls.
Super. What would you like to do?
My nanny had a pit bull. Unfortunately, she passed away from cancer, but she was so sweet. She loved to give kisses. She had zoomies. And she was so playful. I loved her.
Love it. So when you're ready,
I love her.
When you're ready,
I love her pit bulls. It's strong.
Yep. If you got the right dog, it'll be a great experience. Unfortunately, there's a lot of people out there also that get the so-called pit bull and they're getting killed. There's a breeder in Compton, California, about a month ago, got killed by his own dogs, and he called them pit bulls too. So you gotta have the right brand. You gotta have the right brand.
Yeah, and you gotta train them right too.
Absolutely.
Like give them the right training and stuff like that.
Yep. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I know. I remember I had a long conversation with you. I don't think you were even looking for one of my dogs, but I kind of gave you a lot of information and said, listen, give yourself a chance to have the right dog. Study 123pitbulls.com. And I think you did. Sounds to me like you did a lot of studying my page.
I did. I was researching a lot, and pit bulls are very misunderstood. They were used for fighting, but that was the animal cruelty. That's not what they are.
Actually, I'm gonna because I'm educating also. The stuff that the route that you're taking the conversation into how bad the dog fighting came in different levels, but the reason why the dogs are so great is because these dogs were created by dog fighters. They were not created by regular people sitting on a couch, and the dogs were selected to be fighting dogs. And I'm just quoting history. I'm not promoting dog fighting or telling people go fight your dogs, because the grand majority of dog fighters are absolutely garbage. But the process of fighting was involved in the development of the breed itself. And so they became nanny dogs in the 1800s when there was only dog fighting involved. And the reason why they got called the nanny dogs was because there was no television, there was no NFL, no NBA, no Netflix, none of that stuff. There was no electricity. And America was open range America. So the people will actually live in the middle of nowhere, and there were wolves, and there were bears, and there were animals, intruders, and animals to take care of, stock animals to take care of. And so they needed smart dogs that would help them, and they were fighting dogs at the same time. And so the mother and the father, it was legal to fight the dogs, it was no problem. And so the families will work together to train the dogs, and dogs will go for months of training and encouragement to work out and become strong. And then the dogs will go into what it was a fighting pit, and they will go there and they hear the voices of the wife, the voices of the children, and those dogs will become winners or losers, and either or they'll end up going back to their homes. There was no veterinarian around the corner to call and see what he says. It was they had to take care of the dog 100%. They needed to become everything for the dog. And so there was a process called epigenetics, a scientific process. And that process relates to how a dog will produce himself. A dog, the experiences that dog lives will change how the dog behaves. It happens to wolves, and dogs are coming from wolves. So if you took a wolf cub that you found, the mother maybe got killed, you took the wolf cub in the forest, you brought him with you, you raised the cub with you, and you give her love, and the dog, the puppy becomes affectionate to you. The children out of that wolf, the puppies, will be more affectionate than the father, and consequently the next leader will be more loving, more whatever. So all this love that the mother, the father, and it's hard for softies, it's hard for the liberals in America to understand the concept that the entire world, the buildings, the streets, everything, it was built by men, not by women, but by men. And those men were alpha males. And those alpha males, those alpha families are the ones that created and developed the original American Pitbull Terriers. And those dogs were called nanny dogs because the parents used to leave the children with the dogs alone for days as they went out in their horses, back riding to go different cities, different places, and the dogs were trusted to take care of the children. That's how great those dogs were. And so there's the original nanny dog. That dog that gave America the strongest concept that is used today on basketball, football, boxing, MMA. When you hear that dog, that guy got a dog, they're not talking about he got a German Shepherd. They're talking he got a Pitbull inside him. That means that he will not give up. The word Pitbull means never giving up. It doesn't mean a dog that is dressed in pink dresses and all these women BS. That dog is a real strong dog. That's what they come from. And they gave a concept called top dog and underdog. And so the people that have the world against them, the people that their father left them behind, the mother left them behind, society is against them. They need to fight for survival. They need to fight for happiness. And that person that absorbs the underdog mentality has a better chance to make it in life than the ones that wants to play a victim, holding hands, singing kumbaya. No. So that mentality of underdog is the dog that's fighting at the bottom of the fight, and the people still trust him because of his heart. He's not going to give up. So that's where the word came, underdog. They used to say, I put $1 on the underdog. He can win because you got the heart. And somebody will say, I put $1 on the top dog, because they used to gamble on that stuff back in the 1800s. But it's a lie that the fighting, make the dog aggressive. It's the other way around. The fighting process, the fighters did not want to have a dog fighter, a human biter, because the human biter will bite their children, will bite them as they were inside the pit. And they understood that the dogs that were aggressive towards children, the dogs that were aggressive towards men and families and themselves, even if they were good fighters, should need to be put down, because those dogs were quitters. So they had a double effect. It was a quitter, they didn't have courage, and it was known that the dog that was nice and humble and classy with the family, that dog had the heart of never giving up. People like to say the heart of the lion. They don't know the lions quit for survival. The American Pitbull Terrier don't quit because he wants to finish the mission. And that's why it is so important to have things on perspective, because your generation were raised by fake BS on television, fake BS by people that are fake leaders of the American Pitbull Terrier breed. And here I am, by myself, putting things in order. That's why before, back in the 1800s, you didn't have all these people being killed by those so-called Pitbull muds, because the dogs were bred by real breeders, real dogs. You didn't have every hood, every neighborhood, every place, all these kennels, all these breeders everywhere. Those are the cancer of the breed, the profiteers that are breeding muds they call pit bulls. When you go to Google and you put the word pit bull dogs and you press images, everything you see there is a fake pit bull. Come on, different colors, different sizes, different jazz, all profiteers. Some of them are show dogs that they want to imitate to be. This show dog is that particular action. You know, try to be like the real deal, but you're not the real deal. And so, the right dog is the real dog. And so when people tell you that, you know, I'm not talking about the dog fighter in Houston, the scumbag from Fifth Ward, from Fourth Ward, the back of the woods over there, New Caney dog fighter. I'm not talking about those lowlifes. I'm talking about the process of developing the American Pitbull Terrier by real breeders of the past. Something different. I'm talking about huge past in the past are the ones that build the breed. So as professional breeder and a dog owner myself, and someone that wants to find great homes, because all the dog fighters, all the breeders want to buy dogs from me and they all get rejected. I'm the first man in history ever to have this high level of animals that rejects the money from breeders and from dog fighters and promotes against them. So I'm hated by all of them. And so the reason is because I want the dogs, my dogs, to be in better homes with better people. I want to upgrade the people that own my dogs. And so by doing so, I do have a responsibility to teach these new owners about the facts. And the way you were going in your conversation was something you were repeating what you heard. And it's all BS. Absolutely BS. 1000% BS. It was the dog fighting background that built the dogs and the selection. And it is the common guy in his home trying to breed his pet, the sucker that destroys the breed. The backyard fool breeding much. He doesn't know what is a good dog, never touched a good dog in his life. And he has the wrong assessment of what a good dog will be. The junkyard breeder, the guy that breeds aggressive dog with aggressive dog. The fool that tried to train American Pitbull Terriers for protection, which means you go attack a thief or an intruder, and what happens is that dog that becomes great on attacking an intruder becomes a man biter himself, and then produce puppies that those puppies, by epigenetics, they also attack people. They just don't know who the intruder is, and they become propense to attack someone. And it could be a good dog for 5, 6, 7 years. Or say, oh, my dog snapped, he'll kill my grandmother. Well, you play stupid games, get stupid prizes. So, but that's really how it works. That's exactly how it works. And having the right proper knowledge. Today, it comes from 123pitbulls.com, Chico Lopez. We are that people that want to protect the real American Pitbull Terrier and want the best owners. So when you're ready, you let me know. Keep studying the page. Go to my Instagram, Real Chico Lopez. Take a look at my clients, how happy they are, what kind of great life they give our dogs. And I understand that, you know, the basics of it, it's like everything else. Want to buy a car? Look for the brand. You know, it's not the same thing, a small red Toyota Corolla and a red Ferrari SF90. It's not the same thing. The color doesn't mean the dog is the same, because there's people that level of stupidity in people is amazing. I have people that say, oh, you know, but I found here a red Pitbull, like, you know, kind of looks like yours. I said, man, these guys, what's the brand of the dog? What do you mean the brand? I say, who's the breeder? What's the level of the breeder? What the breeder has created? You know, how can we measure this breeder, you know, the genetics? Oh, well, that doesn't matter, right? A good dog is a good dog. So that kind of stupidity, you can't win over idiots, you know? So, but I want you to learn, my friend, because when you came to me, I remember you didn't know nothing about the breed. And now it seems to be like you learn a lot.
I'm doing a lot of research.
Yeah, the problem with the so-called Pitbull research is the most of the information you find on YouTube, on Instagram, even in Wikipedia is BS. You'll hear there's so many dogs that have been called Pitbulls through the time, APVTs, American Pitbull Terriers. So you're going to have a lot of happy people that are going to give you an opinion. And that's when things become problematic, because if the one that listens, there were two men that were lost in the middle of the jungle. One were lost for months. They were skinny, about to die. And one asked one man, how do you get lost? He said, well, I asked the wrong guy. That's one way to get lost. And he said, well, how you got lost? And he says, I asked a lot of people, they gave me their opinion. So when you ask the wrong person, you lost. And when you ask a lot of people, you get lost. Because you need to identify who's the brand. You need to identify what voices matter. Not all the voices matter. So some people might be standing on a UKC dog, which is just a regular mud, the American Staffordshire Terrier, the first copycat of the American Pitbull Terrier. And you'll hear stupid things like, Pitbull is a blanket term. No. Never through history, the name Pitbull was a blanket term. The name Pitbull was a name they gave to two different dogs. Originally, the American Pitbull Terrier, which is the original breed. And then the first copycat, the American Staffordshire Terrier. And so the guys that had the Staffordshire Terrier, they wanted to be like the real deal. Because in the word of American Staffordshire Terrier, it doesn't exist the word Pitbull. But in the name of American Pitbull Terrier, Jesus is at the center of it. Pitbull. You understand? So the only dog that's literally a Pitbull is the American Pitbull Terrier. So in 1980, the fluffy Americans, the Democrats and all these liberals started to think like, oh my God, these dogs are aggressive. And they were looking at these fake pit bulls that, yes, those fake pit bulls were aggressive. And that was the only image they had of a pit bull. It was the aggressive. So we're going to take the aggressiveness out of it. And they created these blue mutts, these, they call them the bullies. And then they created the bullies, and then the guys that got out of the dogs and got back in it because they saw the money coming in with the bullies, they started a different jazz, a dog that doesn't fit the breed. It's called the XL. They mix them with other breeds and call them the XL, the double X, the giant. And they made a mess. They made the micro. They make all these BS dogs, these moron dogs. And to these moron dogs, they all at one point used the word Pitbull. Their grandparents were called Pitbull. They're all fake. And so they want to take the name Pitbull as a blanket term for all these garbage cans. But the real American Pitbull Terrier is the only one that is a Pitbull. Everything else is fake. So you live in a world of fakes where everything is called a Pitbull, and every moron in every neighborhood that has no experience call themselves a breeder or a kennel. That's the world you live in.
Yes, that is the world we live in.
I'm gonna hope you don't mind. I'm making recording, as I told you, and I'm gonna make a video. It will be loaded on my page. So I hope you enjoy it. It's going there. You're going to be there. Your voice is going to be there. But thank you for calling me back. Thank you for helping educate the people that listen to this video. They will be educated because they learn what you're learning today, and hopefully you and them one day can make the best decision. The same way you purchase the iPhone 15, you call Chico Lopez and get your dog from Chico Lopez, because I am the Apple. I am the A15 of American Pitbull Terriers.
All right.
Sounds great. Thank you for your time.
Sounds great.
Yes.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Bye-bye.
Bye.
You see, guys, right there, a lesson for you. You're learning from the greats, Thais Lopez and Chico Lopez. 123pitbulls.com, ChicoLopez.com, ThaisLopez.com, 123APVT.com. We are here. The American Pitbull Terrier is alive right now, right here.